Hello everybody, welcome back to the second part of the convenience store layout. What I'm showing you here is what we're modeling on the layout. This is West Sacramento, C Street, across the I Street Bridge. This building is designated on the map as the Lighthouse Market and Deli at the corner of 5th Street and C Street. From overhead you can see the building's fairly plain Jane, nothing standing out about it. And this is how it looks from the street. You can see in prototype the building is wider and deeper than what we're modeling here, but as I stated in the last video, we are building this model to fit a space before we decided to eliminate that space and put in a road. In the last video we completed the building itself, and now we're going to be masking it for paint. You can see a little mistake here in that I put the front of the building on backwards. I didn't notice this while I was building the building, but I notice it now, and I guess I've been saved by the fact that we're not using it anymore. So here I am masking off the main part of the building to paint trim piece around the edge of the building in red, and I'm going to cut out the door here because that too is going to be painted in the same color. The paint I'm using is just Brattle-Can Red. It's one of the rusts that I use, and it happens to be a little bit brighter than the rust that I quote-unquote prefer for, say, brickwork. So the building here has been sprayed, and after looking at the building itself, I didn't like how tall it was relative to its other dimensions. So we get out the old Bob Smith uncure and we pull out the doors, and then I'm going to tape it off to the dimension that I want it to be so that it looks right at least to my eye, and then I'll be cutting off the area below the tape, and you see that it corresponds to the glass that's above the door, and here we have the building cut. So now I have to resize the opening to the back door, cut the transom off the front door, and then match the sizes on everything so that it fits correctly. Looking closely, you can see that I left a little bit of the transom at the top, and the area up there will be covered by the awning that I made for that over the door. With the doors in, I can file everything flush, deburr the cut, and finish it properly. So now we're ready for glazing in the windows. I'm using Mod Podge is the adhesive, and just putting it in around the plastic windows, and then I'll take the acetate and place it right on top. I'm going to do the same thing for the door, and this gets a little bit messy, but the Mod Podge is water soluble and it'll clean up real nicely with a Q-tip. Well, I thought I made the awning in the last video, but it turns out that I'm making it right here. So I take some scrap styrene, fit it to size, cut it square, and then I'll cut out a couple triangles to make the sides. And then, using a technique that I've used before, I will wrap it in Tyvek material to give it the right texture, and then paint it with the rattle can, the same red that the doors and trim piece were. So with that done, I brush painted the building a tan color that I had in my acrylics, and painted the back of the windows black along the sides and silver at the front door. And now I took a piece of 220 wet dry sandpaper for the roof, and cut it crudely to size, and then here you see me kind of trimming it up so that the final fit is neatly inside the building surfaces there. Also using Mod Podge to glue the roof texturing down, mostly because that Mod Podge was getting a little stale and then you wanted to get it used. But you can use silicone, white glue, anything that dries clear is ideal, and then you can weather it up with some powders to your preference later down the road. So with the awning Tyvek up and painted for texture and color, mounting it in place with clear silicone latex adhesive. The last detail is some roof effects and a couple details on the building site. This air conditioner was from the Walters kit, and they just assembled that and spray painted it, as is this roof vent. And then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of wire and run conduit down to an electrical box that I'm going to create on the back side of the building. This is just standard hobby wire. It's in my collection. I've got loads of this stuff just laying around, and it's just a matter of taking a piece off the right side. It actually might be a probably use a paper clip for that. I don't think that's a paper clip, but it might be. I can't recall. I think it's just a piece of wire. You can see on the edge of the Walthers roof detail that it's got a power panel on the side of the building. So the conduit's going to run to where that appliance, that detail on the appliance hits the roof. And using clear adhesive, I'll put the wire in the conduit in place and run it to the back of the building where it might go through that roof. If you go to old buildings and take a look at the wiring, they run the conduit in every which way. I've seen it done 1,000 different ways, so there's no wrong answer to here. I could have gone straight down and then took a 90-degree turn into the electrical box that I'm putting on here, right here. And what I ended up doing, you see I put a couple pieces of styrene together as if it's a junction box. And then I'm running the conduit down to 90 degrees over, and like I just described. Again, doing this, there's no wrong answer. These exterior conduits are done out of convenience and low cost, especially in low rent areas. And you can see the little box I made just by taking a piece of round tubing and spare plastic and mounting it on painting it silver and mounting it on the side of the building. The last detail will be a piece of conduit running from the bottom of the box to the ground, and that will finish off that little detail in this part of the building. All done except for the gluing. Once everything is glued up, you can just set it aside and let it dry, and the building is complete. One detail that I might have done, now that I'm looking at this, is I probably would have put a piece of styrene along the bottom around the perimeter of the building in order just to make give the building a little bit of a foundation look. And I think it really needs it looking at the photos here, but this is what I did. The building will probably be on eBay, so you can find my that channel is Liberator222000 on eBay. I have a building there and a couple other of my projects for sale. So if you like this little building, here it is. It's probably going to be sold somewhere. So thanks again for watching, and look forward to talking to you on the next video.